We are joined by Coach Des Walker, pass rush specialist. Been working with a lot of guys in the league. What up, though, man? Thanks for joining us.
What up, though, man? What's going on, Woodward Sports?
How you doing,
What's going on, man? I like the jersey.
Oh, yeah, you know I had to come on and represent, man.
That's what's up.
Hardware Wings, Detroit stand up.
I appreciate you, man. I guess first and foremost, I want to start with one of your guys you worked with last year who had a tremendous year in a limited fashion is James Houston. Man, go ahead, flex. Tell us all the good stories about that one because you killed it. You hit that one out the park.
For sure. So, man, James Houston, the first thing I'm going to talk about my man's James, this dude is a smart football player. He's one of them guys that throughout his career, he didn't play offense, defense, middle linebacker, rushed off the edge, played a little bit of a nickel or whatnot. So when I was up there training him, it was easy for him to pick up on a lot of different things of different pass rush moves and techniques. He is a person that the Lions, man, we gonna love them for years to come. We hit it on the ballpoint, and I was just happy for the Lions picking him up. Man, we worked on a lot of great things, a lot of side scissors, cross chop, and the famous dead man that you seen him work on Thanksgiving, and that's a tribute to Al Bubba Baker. Al Bubba Baker used to do that same move back in the day as a great pass rusher for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, isn't he the one that set like the sack record before they even counted sacks? Like his rookie year or something like that?
No, absolutely. Oh, yeah, for sure. With Al Bubba, man, there's a lot of great pass rush throughout the history of the game that hasn't been counted for. But that doesn't take away from their greatness. It's just how it is. This day and age, everybody wants to hear and see the numbers. So the numbers speak, but history always speaks too. The great thing about with James Houston, man, this guy was ready, dog. He was ready, man, and went through a lot in his career from going to Florida, to Jackson State, and then coming to the Lions practice squad. Once he got activated, he put in the time, the work to hit his game, to take his game to another level. And man, we're gonna be hearing James Houston's name for a long time. James Houston, aka the Problem.
The Problem. I love it. I talked about him when he first got in. I was like, he's like a pit bull on the chain that you just got waiting for those passing downs. That you just let him loose. And that is one thing the Lions used him kind of as a pass rush specialist. Is there more to his game? Can you see him extending that rollout, being a 3-down guy, being a guy you could put out there and running downs as well, or is it just pass rush? Is that what he's all about?
Oh, absolutely, man. James can shoot. James can play special team. James can cover. James is smart. James can be a quarterback, and he can be a quarterback within your defense, man. You can use him for a lot of different places. I like James Houston. Like, think of this like a Clay Matthews, right? Clay Matthews he rushed from the middle back. He rushed from the edge. He dropped. You can use him to create so much different mismatches. And the great thing that you can see with James, man, that adds help and value to Aidan Hutchinson because he doesn't have to get slide protection coming his way. And with James being a great athlete, man, he could bend. He can give him movement. He can work hands. He can cause the mixed match if you line him up inside on the tackle in the B gap. Man, there's a lot of good things that I see with this guy going forward in his future.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier too. He even played like a little bit of linebacker too. Like I think in the Bears game, I see him dropping coverage for a little bit. Like he's kind of like a do it all. But Coach, I should ask this first off, Rip. I apologize, but to our listening audience, you mind like giving us a background on yourself? I know you're a Detroit native, but how'd you come about becoming the pass rush specialist? Because you got a long list of names on here that actually producing in the NFL at a high level.
Oh, absolutely, man. I didn't work with guys like Cam Hayward, Max Crosby, Justin Houston, Grady Jarrett, Jadeveon Clowney, Bud Dupree. You got James Houston. Add James Houston to the list.
Yeah.
A lot of great guys that I was able to put my hands on and work with. And what that helped me, man, I can see when guys got that it factor. And every time when James came to train, he was ready, dog. He was like, Des, what's the next drill? Working on. And like, you know how that one guy on your team that's like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about with James and whatnot. But a little bit about me, man. I'm a pass rush specialist. Started off as a college coach, and then I switched over to the private coaching training sector. And through left and right, at the end of the day, in the business I'm in, you gotta get production. If you help get the guys production, then the players will come work with you or whatnot. Down here in North Atlanta, I'll go back and forth to Detroit, or I'll bring my Detroit guys down here in Atlanta to come trade with me as well. Coach Des Walker, but AKA Samurai Sack. They call me Samurai Sack because, I train everybody to use their hands well, and I got that nickname through a NFL draft combine group. It's like, oh, snap, he uses hands like a samurai, man. You teach me I'm a samurai. And then the TV show Samurai Jack. Samurai Sack came along, so that's how it was a joke. But then I was like, you know what, man? Hey, that's who I am.
We saw, obviously, James use his hands a lot, getting free, getting off those tackles. But a big thing that stood out to me was the bend that he has, how athletic he is to bend around that corner and get around. Can you speak to that a little bit, how common it is to find someone, or not common, with the ability to do that, to get around an offensive tackle?
Yeah, is this something you're teaching, or they got to have it or don't?
Oh, absolutely. You can teach players how to bend. Now, the one thing that you got to have is ankle flexibility. If you got ankle flexibility, put an average rusher on there, oh, he's falling. But the things with James, he can, man, he's so athletic that he can come in, he can almost levitate off the ground. So what this dude is, the move that you see him do is the dead man. The move is called the ghost, but he does a hezzy dead man ghost on that offensive tackle. He comes in, he sells the speed, he slows his motion, and then he bends and drops. When he bends and drops, he's dipping for leverage. But when he brings his shoulder back up, he brings it back up for balance so he won't fall on the ground. There's techniques that you can show guys of how to not fall off the corner and just fall completely to the ground, and how to bring him up to balance right there. Just like, let's put it like this, man. You guys watch a lot of sports, just like a pitcher. So usually with some of the great passers, let's look at Dwight Freeney, for example. Mm-hmm. He was great at his fastball. He was great at his fastball, and he was able to work his spin move off of it. Just like a pitcher, as a pass rusher, you got your fastballs, and you got your curveballs, and you got your changeup. So what James Houston did, he used something called a changeup, which is the dead man. The dead man is a change of pace and a change of rhythm. The minute that they see his shoulders high, the offensive lineman begin to sit down. And hey, he's only 6'1", 6'2", so the minute he bend, he's below the offensive lineman belly button. And we know on this, them 6'7", 6'6" tackle, they don't like playing below their belly button. So he made it hard for him, man. He made it hard for him.
It's already hard enough from the tie of the shoes, you know. He ain't gonna block nobody down there. Coach, we have another defensive end on this team, Aidan Hutchinson. Do you see anything in his game that you would love to get your hands on to help him and mold his game a little bit more, or you think it's just different styles for different folks?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, just like anything else, man, it is different styles that you can rush from, and there's different ways to skin a cat. The one thing I would like to see from Aidan Hutchinson, I would like to continue to see movement off of his power. Like, he loves working a stutter bull. A stutter power and stutter bull is great, but as you get longer into your career, what happens? That power. Oh, now my shoulder. Now my elbow. Now my wrist. Now it's all these different things that's starting to tweak up. I want to see more movement with his move, whether he's working a cross chop, he's working a long arm club, off of his movement. So he has great power, and we knew that coming in. Aidan, he's gonna put his hands on people. But at the same time, I want to see more balance and more mixture, hand-to-hand working together. But overall, man, great rookie year. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give it up to him as well. But the next level to see consistency of his pass rush is to see the balance of him using both power as well as finesse and high-performance skill, hand movement, and moves.
So, Coach, I know, back in my day, I was all-county DN coming out, I had a couple four-sack games. My favorite was my swim move over the top of a tackle. When someone comes into you, and what is one move that you teach them immediately, or they need to know if they're going to try to get to that next level?
That next level? Well, the first thing guys talk about moves, let me tell you, when guys first come to me, I talk about vision. Hey, think about this, Woodward Sports. Think about this. You're in a boxing match, right? Close your eyes. Are you going to win the fight? Hell no. So the first thing as a pass rush specialist I go over is where I should look at. My hands, my eyes is going to affect my hands. My eyes is going to affect my get off. So my vision, get off, my hands, my hips. Everything got to work together, but everything I start from is for eyes. So once I understand where I'm looking at, that's going to allow me to what? Be decisive. And once I'm understanding I'm decisive, that's going to allow me to play faster. So if I'm playing faster, I think less. If I rep it over and over the time, I don't got to think about it. It becomes a good reaction as well as a proactive move. So I start with their eyes, and then I start working into the hands and the movement. Once we focus on the eyes and they improve their eyes, we focus on the moves at the spot. So ladies and gentlemen at Woodward Sports, if you don't know what the spot is, that is the engagement point of the pass rusher and the offensive lineman. You will see a lot of pass rushers throughout the history of career. They're extremely athletic and fast, and you wonder why they don't get sacks. The reason why they don't get sacks is they do not have the IQ or the skill to work moves when they're at the point of engagement. That little 1%, the point of engagement can separate a guy from having 3 sacks to 15. So as we work in and then we progress through, whether if you like working your side scissors, your cross chop, you like working your long arm club, you like working your ghost like James Houston. That's the progression of how I teach these guys, and that's the progression of how pass rushers should look at pass rush. From the spot on to the back.
Okay.
Coach, we got to pay some bills. You mind hanging out with us through a break? We come back, ask you about some of the upcoming prospects?
Man, pay them bills, man. I'm here,
Let's
man.
go.